and welcome to RCR's In the Room With, our new video podcast, talking with entertainment professionals about their careers and what they've learned along the way. I'm Stephanie Pache, editor and publisher of RCR News Media, and I'm joined today with my co-host, Jordyn Aquino, who is an actor and host of the New Mexico Women in Film Ready, Set, Go podcast. Today, we're fortunate to have Emmy winner Kim Estes join us to talk about his amazing career and being one of the gems in Hollywood that everyone loves. Hey, Kim, how's that for a setup?
I don't know how I can just like slip into that easily. Thank you, Stephanie.
You're welcome. I have to tell you, someone sent me an email because they saw our promotion of your interview and said, I love Kim Estes. So it's not just me. Other people love you.
Well, thank you. And I'm glad to be here. Jordyn, hello, and thank you for being here. It's wonderful to be able to share. That's part of this whole experience of it's supposed to be. Part of this whole journey is to bring those tools or some tools to people who just don't know about them, who've never heard about them, who could use them, and whatever type of arrow that puts in their quiver, which is the place where the arrows are held. Somebody asked me that question. I said, "Yeah, that's another arrow for your quiver." And they said, "What's a quiver?" And so I had to explain that quiver thing to them. Obviously, not enough of Robin Hood. Obviously, when they were kids. So I like to, where I can, give people tools so they can use along their journey. I'm not saying every tool is right for everybody, but take what it is that you need from that quiver and utilize it and practice it. And hopefully that will help you along the path. And if it does, send Stephanie and Jordyn a note and say thanks.
Absolutely. We're so excited to have you. And it's so good to have every tool at your disposal, figure out what works for you and what doesn't. So we're really excited to have you and for you to share your wisdom with us and your career experience. So
well,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I know the questions are going to roll now.
Here they come. So tell me, what inspired you to become an actor? Where did your career begin?
Oh, I don't. Yes, I'll tell you exactly what happened. I'll start the story. And I may have told this to Stephanie already, but Jordyn, this is very unique. So, by education, I am an engineer. I went to. I was born and raised in Los Angeles, this little town here, and in this house, I'm in my family home right now, where I grew up, and what happened was I went to a small college in San Joaquin, California, and then I went to the California Maritime Academy. Went to school there for 4 years, became an officer in the United States Merchant Marines, and then sailed on the oceans for 14 years as a chief engineer in the United States Merchant Marines and also in the United States Naval Reserve as well. After I finished that, I had a 10-year stint at corporate. Now, in Los Angeles downtown for the same company that I had worked for going to sea. But when you're a sailor in the Merchant Marines, you work for 60 or 70 days, and then you are off for 60, 70 days, and then you return back to the same ship or a ship to get somebody off so they can go home and spell. Well, during that 60-day period, my wife got sick of me being home, and she said, go across the bay. You know, there's this modeling organization called Faces International, and you need to go and be a model. And I said, okay. I didn't know anything, not the first thing. So I go to this modeling organization, and of course they make you pay a fortune for a thumbnail. And they said, we'll get this into every casting office in the world. And rightly so, they probably did. But I joined. Fortunately, they said, you know, if you want to take acting lessons, you can. We have an instructor, of course, at a higher price than I would normally pay, but it didn't matter because fortune and fate play in this whole game. And I met a guy who was the acting instructor. His name was Louis Parnell. And after one of the classes, he said, you want to do it their way or you want to do it the right way? and he became my mentor. He says, you need headshots. What? Headshots? Yeah, those, and resume, and you need to, and then we're going to market you. You send that out in San Francisco, and then got an agent there. But I can remember I could only work for 60 days at a time, so there was no guarantee of anything. Became an extra in a film, the old series. My very first television role was the Night Stalker, no, the Night Caller, a series in San Francisco that shot in San Francisco, and I was an extra up on top of Nob Hill, and Louis was the bartender in one of the hotels there, and his role was his series debut was the same as my series debut as the extra.
Oh, cool.
So I say all that to say, uh, that was it, and then 15 years later, I'm here in Los Angeles, and it was more than 15, it was 20. I am transferring jobs. Our company got bought. I was too young to retire. And I'm in Hollywood. I'm in Los Angeles. And I go, I have not really tried that here. And I started my pictures and resumes, sent them out shotgun, which you're never supposed to do, they say. Shotgunned them out, pictures and resumes. Somebody bit. I reeled them in. They started sending me out. And my very first TV role was a show called oh jeepers, here I go, with Gina Davis, where she played the vice president, and the president gets killed, and so she becomes the president, and I was one of her senators, and that was my very first TV role in 2004, and then it just took off from there. So it just happened that from that little TV role, those couple of lines, people took bigger risk with me, and saw that he can handle more material, he can handle more material, he can handle more material. So let's just send him out. We know he's good. Just put him out there and let him dazzle the audiences. Get him in the casting room, and he'll make the difference. Which is the faith that agents have in their clientele to do that.
Wow, that's amazing. That's so interesting that you had this long, incredible career in the military and corporate America. How do you think that translated into your journey? How do you think that influenced your career?
Well, when I first entered the Merchant Marine Academy, it was one of those things, and I knew I was going to be an engineer. I was going to graduate, and I have a license to sail on any ship in the ocean, and I have a bachelor's degree in engineering, marine engineering, which is the marine equivalent to mechanical or power engineering, like a stationary power plant. But it was all those things where I had never done that before. So I used that, like, oh, what is it? Getting to Hollywood or playing in San Francisco. It's like, I haven't done that before, but let's give this a try. I haven't done that before. And the same thing happened in Hollywood when I first started submitting. I haven't done it. Let's just do it. Let's do this. We might as well. What could possibly happen? What's the worst that could possibly happen if you do? The do is they don't accept it. They don't like it. They don't. But when I tell people this story, and I also tell them the other story, which is you're not supposed to tell the story. Like you said in the beginning, you will learn, Jordyn, when you said that you pick up what it is you can gather from others and discard the rest because it's not necessary at this time. Maybe it stays somewhere in a hard drive, in your head hard drive. And you can use that stuff later, but right now, at this moment, you utilize what it is that you need. I picked up so much. I was like this little sponge. I joined a theater company in 2003. I was at a really interesting movie. I won't call it anything bad, but I'll call it an interesting movie. Getting ready for my scene. Low budget. I don't think it's ever been released. It may be, but anyway, it needs to not be mentioned. And the lady next to me, the girl next to me, my age or younger, much younger than me, was going through the same thing I was going through a Backstage West magazine, circling the parts. And when we got home, we could send our resumes out and headshots out through the Sea View clear envelopes, which your pictures could show on one side and your resumes on the backside. So she said, "Have you joined a theater company yet?" And I said, "No, but it's on that list of things actors should do in Hollywood." And she says, you need to join a theater company called the Spyans Theater Company, Thespyants. That's thespian spelled sideways, I think. So we joined the Spyans Theater Company. So I went and auditioned. That was the education. That
Mm.
that taught me so much. I'm so indebted to those people for a lot. Probably this girl, I'm indebted to her for that because they taught me what this stage life was about, which is everything. It's the nucleus of everything. It is being prepared. It's being mentally ready. It's being able to take the journey into somebody else's existence and taking the audience to a whole different place and transforming them for that hour and a half to a whole different world. And they're so thankful and grateful that you did that for them. Just took them out of their reality for a moment and then back to planet Earth. But they taught me a lot, and so from that, I was able to use that. I didn't. I took some seminars,
Mm-hmm.
but those people in the Spine Theater Company were all trained by Howard Fine. So I learned from the people who learned from the best, and
Mm-hmm.
so they taught me everything. They
Wow.
taught me what I needed to know, and I sponged up
Mm-hmm.
and took off from there. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. That was my next question, because when you said you started in San Francisco, I was curious if you had a theatrical background as well. But how cool is it to go be a part of a theater company and then to simultaneously be starting your film career, take what you get and you keep going. But let's talk about this Emmy that I see right here. Can you talk about being an Emmy winner, what that experience was like, what project led you to this incredible award?
Yeah. So, um, I'm that guy who says no less often than maybe most. I don't know. I don't like to say no. I like to say yeah.
I
I
love
like
that.
to I like to dig in and say what can I do to help you? And if this is a yeah from me,
Mhm.
can I help you? And the only way I can help you is it depends on where I am in this. If I'm the actor, I better be good at this because I know me at my best may be able to help you get to your next level, which helps me
Right.
mentally and from a business sense. There's nothing else better for me to do than to help my fellow actor, to help them get or producer or director or writer get to the next level, and I love doing that. And the benefit for that is that it's the heart benefit that makes you feel real good about being able to do that for others, and they're happy that you helped. And yeah, they may not be able to pay you, but I don't know that that's the point. The point is, that comes later.
Mhm.
There's time, energy, effort expended, and yeah, do you should you ever think, oh yeah, well they're going to pay me back at some point in time? No, go away. You did a good thing in your heart. You have done something great, and they are so grateful for you. They will come back to you. They will ask you. They will help you when they can. So that's my, I guess that's my long-winded answers. Is I'm really not a no guy. I'm a yeah guy. Let's see, how can we make this work? I learned that from one of my legal attorneys back when I was in Arco Corporate. She would never say you can't do that. She'd say, tell me what it is you want to do and let's see how we can make it work.
Mhm.
Let's get as close as you can to what you want. And since I've won her, yeah, there are people who um, say, "Oh, you're too high priced for me now." I said, "No, let's talk about this. What is it you need from me,
Mhm.
and let's see how we can make it work. Can we get this into the schedule? That's great. Let's do that because that little bit of assistance they need or the piece they need from me, that might be the piece that gets them over the next hump. And
Mhm.
I'm more than grateful to share. If I got that time and I got the energy, I got that slot open. Let's go. Let's do this and see if we can make it work.
That,
Did that answer your question, Jordan? I think I went
Oh,
off on some other
no, that was
tangent.
amazing.
but it
Yeah.
was gold, just like the Emmy, because what I'm hearing you say is to have an open mindset, to be a go-getter, to say yes to things, and it's really refreshing to hear another artist, a successful actor with the incredible resume that you have, to say that you want to connect with people and you want to help them and say yes to opportunities. I think that is such an invaluable piece of advice for actors.
The help truly is on both sides. So you give and you get.
Right.
Mhm.
I because I am giving, I get an opportunity to read or act some of the best written stuff on the planet. Now, the artist may the writer or the director may not be known yet, but holy mackerel, that's some heavy material. And I get to play it. How fun is that? And I get to understand a character and bring that character to life maybe in six different things later on down the road. You know, that character can resurface inside of me with a different name. I mean, how fun is that for an actor to have that many exercises in a character and to know that works. It works. You process, take it in, become that, and then you look to take people out of their realities. And I like that. I don't want people to know it's Kim Estes up there. I want people to know that it's that character up there. And at the end of the day, when the makeup comes off, that wow, that was Kim. He just and I love taking people out.
Mm.
That's amazing. Do you have any favorite characters that you've played or projects that you've worked on that have really spoken to you?
Oh, geez, I just did one. We just did a reading 2 nights ago of an untitled circus play.
Oh, fun.
It's an untitled about a black family circus. For the years, they had a black family circus, and Chandra Thomas was the writer. And we rehearsed, and then we put it up on Zoom, and then ran it. And it was actually I played the ringmaster. I'm the dad of the family, and because you can't imagine, you can't see that, but yes, it happens. And that to me, her writing was magical. It was the family struggle. You know, the business is dying. How do we make the business live? How do we want to keep it? It's been around for 150 years. That whole dynamic of I've wrapped my whole family around the circus, and all of a sudden, you know, it isn't doing what it's supposed to do. It's not paying off, and so now I'm responsible. So, yes, loved her. Take the words just flowed out of my mouth, and you know, Jordyn, as an actor, that the closer the writer gets to the stuff that you would actually say, the easier it flows, and the more heartfelt it is for the audience, because it's just coming out of your mouth, just like me talking to you right now. And it's meaningful. You know, I'm talking to y'all, and you guys understand it. You're listening, and that was the beauty. And that's Chandra Thomas. You know, she's a writer from on the show called Mom.
Oh
And
yeah, we know her.
yeah, and she writes. She wrote the screenplay. So other pieces. There was a piece called "To Be Me," written by Dan Jansen, and that he directed it actually, and it is about a dad trying to understand his son who would like to who is going to be a transgender.
Mm.
And it is I'm in rural Pennsylvania, of course, so I barely know by title and character. I barely know what gay is. I sort of got a comprehension of that, but being transgender is this new thing for me, and I don't understand it. And it's something that we just don't talk about in the African American community a lot. We have to understand that this must be a conversation that takes place or doesn't take place. And so we try to bring this all through the media and wrap it up into some nice little tidy ball that's not tidy,
Yeah.
because it comes out that, you know, I just don't understand, and he doesn't. He's trying his best to explain it to me, but I'm that guy who but I'll listen, and I may get it later on, but that's it. But I got to thank people who seek me out to do those projects, and know that I can, you know, go that yard, that extra yard, to be that the attentive and not attentive dad, or the dad who doesn't understand, and the dad who wants to understand, to save his relationship with his son, soon to be his daughter.
Wow. That sounds like
So yeah,
powerful.
tons of stuff, great work. Yeah, it was on the Reverie TV channel.
Oh
Uh,
yeah,
Oh,
it's
okay.
called To Be Me.
right.
And
I
it was just featured in a little article. Somebody just had a little article. They put it on Instagram, and they had, I guess, oh, it's Black History Month,
right.
so it's going to be featured on Reverie TV again.
We're going to be interviewing the founder of Reverie in a couple weeks, Damien.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, tell Damien I said hello. I think we
Okay.
met with Damien and had a meeting with him. We were going to run. We actually ran this because it was up for Emmy. That was also up for Emmy consideration.
Okay.
The year we filmed it, which is
Wow.
2 years ago. So it was really really a good story. It's 6 episodes,
Okay.
short form,
Mhm.
and I think it really does a good job of trying to get an understanding to happen. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Awesome. That we need more of those kind of projects that, can convey the importance of listening and inclusivity and, you know, understanding. And it's wonderful that, an actor of your caliber can walk in and want to participate in that, not only as, for the performance, but because this story is so important to share.
yeah, it is, and not commonly spoken.
Mhm.
So
Right.
we need that.
Yep.
That's amazing. What a
Uh,
powerful role to play. Was it a challenge to get in
well,
character? What was your process?
we actually shot it in Pennsylvania, in rural
Oh,
Pennsylvania. Oh
oh,
yeah, yeah.
wow.
And Amanda Dash is from that area. She's one of the producers. She's a producer and also one of the writers. So we used her area outside of Phil. Where were we? Outside of Philadelphia. So we used her area to shoot this,
Mm,
and it was beautiful. And it was
mhm.
snowing, and it was
Oh,
cold.
wow.
And the final scene takes place in a cemetery, which is
Oh,
in a place called Mars, Pennsylvania, and not far from her house, far enough away, but it wasn't too
mm,
far.
mhm.
But and it was real snow, and so it was to me one of the more touching scenes
Mm,
that I found in the film. From my preparation standpoint, I really had to try to get an understanding in my head about what this means to me, and was I embarrassed that this was going to take place
mhm.
because all my friends at church wouldn't understand?
Right.
And
Mm,
was their concern? I've been concerned all my life
mhm,
about him and his behavior.
mm,
When he became more extravagant and
mm,
more out there. Yeah, more um, just more internal.
mm,
And then when he went away to college, and now he's come back, and his mother had passed away, and so it was like it's just me and him. Yeah,
mm.
yeah.
Oh. Well,
Okay.
I'm gonna go look for that now to
Yeah,
make sure I see it.
I'm excited to watch it. It sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's good. The other piece, I did a piece with I call interesting. Tony Scott wrote a piece called Together, and that was also well, it's film festival. I won Best Actor in one. I think it was L.A. Shorts or one of the film festivals Best Actor for that piece. But it's a beautiful piece, about family and the family dynamic. And I played the dad again, and my wife has a stroke, and
Mm,
whether I take care of her or whether I let her pass quietly is, the question.
oh,
And Tony Scott, a writer and director, and Gene Sue, they both had confidence enough for me to play that role, and I thank them wholeheartedly for giving me the opportunity to do that, and again express the family dynamic.
mhm.
Wow. Wow. Sounds like
Fun.
another amazing role.
Fun. I mean, we just finished a piece called "Take My Heart." It is also in film festivals where I play a dad with a daughter who's like estranged, and we haven't seen each other since her mother had passed away, since before her mother passed away, and so now I'm trying to reconnect, but I don't know what her mother has told her that I did
Oh,
wrong. So
mm,
it's like one of those things. It's one of those stories.
mm,
Well, what she told you what? And it's like I did, that wasn't me. It was her. So it's like this whole family dynamic of trying to get back together in a because I'm about to start a new life. I'm about to get married. I found somebody, and it's been a
Mm.
couple of years now. But yeah, so it's good. It's a good thing.
A lot of stories out there to tell or share, and then finding the right person to be that character and to bring that performance alive, and especially whenever they're emotionally charged like that, it takes definitely a special person, which we've come to appreciate you as, Kim.
Well, I do.
And
You
your
do.
girlfriend over there.
My girlfriend. Oh, she is amazing. I will tell you a couple of really fun stories. Well, we got a little bit of time. I take her to lunch
Oh,
upon demand
okay.
because somebody said, especially people who haven't seen it
Mm.
and touched
And
it.
it's heavy.
Of course, yes, it is. It's
Yeah,
heavy, and
right.
people who haven't seen it, so I'll take her to lunch and I'll set her on the table. Well, that in itself, it starts a conversation.
Sure.
It starts a conversation. It starts people saying, well, first, some people may know what it is, whose is it, how'd you get it, and that starts conversation. However, when I tell the server, I said, when you finish, could you come back, pick her up, take her to the kitchen, take her back in the kitchen, and have everybody take their pictures with her that they need. Just don't get in trouble with the management, but just go ahead and take it back there. She says, no, it's fine. She's not that fragile. She's been around. So go ahead and take her back. And people will, if you haven't seen her, you will never know that she has toes.
Right.
You will never know that because you have to get this close to
Right.
know that she's
Got
got toes.
toes.
Yes, she really has toes. So that's how close I tell people. Yeah, you'll know. You'll know when you've been in the presence of her because you know that she's beautiful and she's done well. And I feel very privileged and honored to have been chosen by my peers to and honored by my peers to be gifted this award. And there's no doubt about it. Who do I think? Do I think Louis Parnell? Do I think the Spy Theater Company? Do I thank the people like Bonnie Gillespie, who is the spiritual guide of many, many, many actors? And do I thank Lori Records? Do I thank Jen Page? Yes, I thank all of them. Miranda July. I thank them all because they're all integral parts to that thing. There were all arrows in that quiver that I was able to whip out and utilize when I needed to utilize them.
Right.
So yeah, I'm very grateful. I'm
Yeah, that
extremely
oh,
grateful.
sorry. Yeah, that speaks to community and having that network and being able to, as you pointed out early on, give and take. So it's you're giving and other people are receiving, and it becomes this really great relationship and community, and it expands across just who you are, but across the world if you want to go global on it. But it's definitely um a treasure, and you're a treasure, not only for your performance but for who you are. It speaks a lot, and it's a joy for us to be able to talk to you more about business rather than at luncheons kind of thing, just to get your perspective and give that inspiration to pass that on to others who are coming up like Jordyn and other actors and producers and writers and all of that. There's stories to tell, and some people don't get the opportunity to, and that's sad because maybe they've stopped themselves or don't know what to do next. And I think that
Yeah.
pointing out it comes from a multitude of places. It's not just an acting school, it's not just a director or reading a script. It's from a lot of places that your craft then is honed, and you become even that much better at what you do. But also in giving that performance, you elevate other people to their best, and that's an amazing picture to have in your head, um,
Yeah.
for this industry.
You
People.
you hit You hit that right on the head. It is the being open and being receptive to those things that are out there. It is taking from it what you need and then the rest storing for later, maybe. But it's being open to that. And yes, are there people not open to it because they believe they've got the right way and the only way? Absolutely. Absolutely. We're not going to deny that from an acting standpoint. I need no one and I need no one and I can do this by myself and that's fine. If that's where you would like to go, perfect. I'm on a different path.
Right.
I believe in the power of community. I believe in the power of giving and sharing. And there are a lot of roles out there for a lot of people, and there's going to be enough for me always, and there's going to be enough for others always. Do you have to hustle? Absolutely. I mean, I would never say don't hustle. I wouldn't say let stuff come to you, people knock on your door and stuff. But do you have to get out there? Yes, you do. Do you have to put your best foot forward? And when I say that, I mean the best you can that day. You will probably not be like me. I'm not the most. Everybody is not the most consistent player, especially from the audition standpoint or the meeting standpoint. Yeah, you're not your best every single day, but just get up, put your pants on, get out there, and give it what you got that day, that minute, that hour. Just give it up, and that's the best you can do. Then come back, be happy that you've had that opportunity to do that, and then move on and just move on to the next thing. So Jordyn, if I can give you any of that to take with you, just do the best you can with what you have, and it will show. There's a lot. There's so much that directors, writers, producers see inside that what you give, that moment that you give when you can give it. And they have this weird sense of saying, either I know I can get more out of her or him, or I know that person is malleable. So I could shape and form what it is I see as my character in that person. And that's because you gave what it is you had that minute. And they can see that.
That's such wonderful insight. I feel like everything that you're saying just resonates so much with me. I feel like this business it's such a small world, and I don't think you can do it alone. I mean, theater is community, it's interaction, and just everything that you're saying is just, I love it. I love it. So I have to know, what have you been up to in quarantine? How has 2020 treated you? How do you stay busy? What are you watching?
Okay, so the other part of my life um, actually never went totally away because I became the head of environment, health, safety, sustainability, and corporate and social responsibility for an oil and gas company, ARCO, in Los Angeles.
Wow.
So, and before we were acquired by British Petroleum, and then I was too young to retire. I couldn't retire, so I had to find another job. So that's what happened. As I was looking for the other jobs, I said, why not try acting as well, also. So I didn't give up one for the other. So part of the other part of my life, the silent part of my life, comes in the form of being able to advise people to stay out, to stay out of harm's way from the environment, health, and safety side of the fence. So I've worked with some from shipping companies because I'm a sailor, and I've been around the world a couple of times on ships, and so I've been able to advise companies and do their internal auditing for them to make sure they stay out of harm's way when the external people come and look at them, and make sure they're on the right path. So part of, I guess, that thing is I've been able to like keep the lights on, and which is vital and crucial, and between acting jobs, which have been very far and few between in this COVID period of time. I was actually shooting in Colorado, outside of Denver. When we came back to our LA location, there was no LA location to go to.
Oh.
They had shut it down. So we were in Colorado shooting. We'd been there for a week, and we had shot all the shots, shot everything done, and then we're going to come back to LA. Boom, the location was shut down. Boom, the production shut down, And so now everybody's going, oh my goodness, now what? Here comes unemployment. Great. And then of course, there was other work that came in, which was really nice. And it was sporadic, but it was enough. And then all of a sudden, things from the Zoom standpoint started opening. I've done a couple of Zoom formatted shows which dealt with the reality of COVID. Which I had a wife who was the president, or the president of a university in the South, and I had a daughter who was the head surgical nurse at a hospital in New Jersey. And I am a surgeon myself, and I'm in Los Angeles. But for me to get them, first I can talk to them all on Zoom, and then listening to what it is they're going through. They're going crazy back east because the hospitals are flooded. She's trying to get out of the South because COVID's creeping up. And we're trying to get her back. So this drama that took place in this real thing, they were filming it as I was talking to them on Zoom, and so the camera was back here. Or the camera was in front, and they saw me looking at the screen, and of course the script was everywhere. But still, it's one of those things where that show was wonderfully done, and it showed reality. It showed today. So I've done a couple of those, couple of industrials that dealt with, I didn't have to be on location because I have that doctor looking look and attorney type looking look, authoritative look. I think that's what it is, a judge look.
Important person.
Yeah, somebody threatened me to show somebody else my episodes of Pretty Little Liars when I played the judge on there. So yeah, somebody threatened me the other day with that, but I don't mind. Commander in Chief, they could see that I'm just a senator guy, and Gina Davis is there, and that's the bonus for me. And by the way, and Gina Davis is one of the nicest people on the planet. She was like the first big star I ever worked with, and she must have seen how nervous I was because that was my very first show on Commander in Chief, and she said, "You guys want to run lines?" And I'm going, "Oh, yes." So we all ran lines while they were doing the lights. Ran lines. And by the time the lights were ready, it's like boom, 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 out. Because we were the last shot of the day. We were the only thing between the work guys and the bar. So it was like we needed that was done. We were finished, and it was awesome. So I really appreciate her, and I always treat everyone as though if they want to, we can run those lines until the cows come home, and just get everybody just relaxed and fluid and get the stuff out of your mouth. And I think that works best for everyone, and it really makes things go smooth. So it's like it's just picking up more tools. It's like, how do you make this stuff work? How do you? Okay, I've seen this in the past. Let's try this. It's all that stuff, and that's the great part of it. So I've been doing that. Getting ready to shoot a couple of, we've done some plays and some staged readings on Zoom, some rehearsed, some recorded, and they went up to YouTube, and then they went other places, but just finished one, the Family Circus play the other night, and then I'll do, or shooting a film in Los Angeles. I get COVID tested tomorrow morning. Well, let's see, let me go back. Last weekend, shot a commercial, and got COVID tested twice, once to go to wardrobe and once to come out of wardrobe. And trust me, when you get COVID tested, now to go to wardrobe, if you don't pass that test, they got somebody coming right behind you. They got to back up. Oh yeah, and they will replace you because they don't have 2 weeks to wait. They're on a shooting schedule, especially for a high-priced, a high client, high-budget commercial. So they're not messing around. And the same for action movies. If they can't quarantine you for the 14 days, they're going to make sure that they COVID test you. I get COVID tested tomorrow, and then I get another quick rapid test on the set on Sunday when I go in. So they're going to do me again. But we're rehearsing tomorrow night, and then we shoot Saturday, and we shoot Friday and Sunday. But little things and projects that. A lot of reading, a lot of, now, of course, I will tell you, masterclass. COVID has taught us to slow that pace down a tad. As hustling actors, we will chase our tails and spin in circles and go after all sorts of things. And I'm not saying not go after in a bad way, but definitely proceed to go down paths and a lot of different paths and touch a lot of people, reach out prior to COVID, and even now, go down that search path. But I'll tell you this: I've read more material, I have watched more shows, I have understood more and better about the business and about myself. I mean, I belong to a couple of not-for-profit organizations. One is uh, 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 the Boys and Girls Club of Long Beach. I've been a director on their board for, I don't know, over 20 years. And then the Salvation Army, I've been a director of their board as well. Free Plastics from restaurant.org. I mean, that's what I just recently um, got invited into. But something to change the dynamic of the way we do things, and just trying to help and just slow the pace down and get back into start a rhythm that's sustainable past COVID.
Right.
We don't, it's not going to be ready, set, fly as soon as somebody drops the checkered flag and everybody takes off, even though we think that's what's going to happen. But I kind of think that's my noise. I kind of think that hopefully people will see it as a different paced situation. One of the things I know why it's different pace. I mean, I did all my this commercial I just shot. We did everything by Zoom. With the audition, I sent in a tape. Yep. And then when the callback came around, Zoom audition. I've done a bunch of commercial Zoom auditions of things, and that's why I thank Lori Records, who's a commercial casting director who also throws classes out every once in a while. I had the privilege. She's also a friend of mine, so I got the privilege to sit in on one of her classes. And it's about utilizing the tools you got. You're in COVID for crying out loud, so you can use all the props you can and talk about anything you want. I mean, it's right here in your home. It's not as if you're in the studio, right? So if you want to like lean over and kiss the Emmy, I mean, it's like, do it. And she's brilliant, but you need to be reminded about the little things, about the things that are right at your disposal, and the things that you have, not only just in the innate things that you have within you, the good heart, the good soul, and everything, but there are little tricks to this trade that you can utilize and use way into the future.
Perfect.
So that's what I've been doing. I mean, I like and especially in this time we're in, I don't think I've read as much as I have done in the last 6 months about a variety of topics and actors that help us get to different. About Anthony Hopkins, if anybody reads about that man and about what he does, and about how he prepares, you're reading a script 100 times before you step into the room. It's like, okay, or rehearsing those lines 100 times before you even to get them in your head, and then you get to play or analyzing what it is you're supposed to do and how you're supposed to do it. How fun is that to understand what other actors do? And so, do you use those tools? If you want to, you can. Well, how nice is that to do though, and to be able to just like, let me see if this works for me. Or the memorization tools that you use as actors to memorize scripts. Writing the first letter of each word down in a paragraph, and then bringing that back to life in your head, and it makes it so much easier. I mean, that's one tool to use, and there's several other ones, associating with objects in the room. And so, how fun it is to read and understand and study up on that stuff to maybe utilize them in the future, or maybe assist somebody who is utilizing them along their way. And then also the auditions that just come flying into your house, and then you got to have a reading buddy. So yeah, right now, Jordyn, I got an audition. It's not due till tomorrow, but can you read these lines with me tonight? Because it's a taped audition. We're going to do it on my iPhone. And then, okay, so here are your lines, Jordyn. So I sent Jordyn lines, and then later on that night when she's free, she calls. She says, "You ready?" "Yeah, I'm all set in front of the camera. Got a couple of lights. Okay, Jordyn, let's go get her on FaceTime, so she's off my screen. She's on my screen on my computer, but not on my phone. And so me and the phone go to work with smart mic, a little small mic that clips on your lapel, which is wireless, and you have the app on your phone, and then you go ahead and do your thing, and you go, let's do it again, Jordyn. And so you just do it a couple of times until you nail it. It depends on how many of those you got sitting on, how many auditions you got sitting on your desk. And
Right.
then you go, boom, that's it. Thanks, Jordyn. Appreciate it. So then Jordyn calls me and we do the same thing. I mean, it's that little network. I've got about
Right.
5 or 6 friends
Mhm.
that help, and I help them get these auditions in the can. Not to be a critic, not to analyze to the death what these things look like when they come out and they're spit up in collect or retransfer. Not that.
Mhm.
It's about the ability to be able to get, and most casting directors, from what I've heard and from what I've been told in the seminars that I've been listening to, they don't want it perfect. It can't be perfect. You're not in the perfect environment, especially during this time frame. You can get close to it. You can get close to whatever it is, that 85% margin, which Bonnie Gillespie calls it, 85% go. But understand that it's 85%. Are you there at that 85? Yeah. All right. Send. Hit the send button. They will be able to see, since it's not the perfect environment. You're not in a studio. You're in your home. You have a little fire engine right up here behind your head, right up here. So it's like they know where you are,
Mhm.
and but they do ask for a plain background. I did send an audition in. I did a film with Kristen Carey, and we shot it in Louisiana, Shreveport, and it's shot in jail. So I took pictures of the jail, and actually the old jail in Shreveport, and that has become I have it as my backdrop sometimes in the Zoom, right? So I was given an audition for some show. I can't remember the show, but you're supposed to be in jail, so I used that as the backdrop because I'm in jail. I mean, it's beautiful, a beautiful backdrop. And they sent a note back saying, let's do not do that. Don't muddy up the background with that shot. So that's what happened. But so you know what? We were about 6 months into COVID, for crying out loud. Yeah, I'm going to be creative, and I'm going to take the chance. And what they're going to say, redo, please, and
Right.
then you got to redo it over.
Mhm.
So I'm okay with that.
That's good.
That's great. It's good to have a sense of humor. If we're trapped at home, we got to have fun with our auditions some way, you know?
You better have fun.
Well, we appreciate your time today, Kim. It's been amazing to talk to you. I have missed seeing you when being in LA. And thank you for your tips. Jordyn was excited to join me today to talk to you. She's a sponge. She's going to be soaking it up, and she's got some, like I say, great talent, and she's an up and comer. So we're excited to connect you guys and to have you join us. And again, thank you so much. We appreciate your time. And we will talk to you again soon whenever you're making that big blockbuster or whatever.
I think it's just a matter of time.
It's just that Oscar now.
Here it comes. It's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming. And,
It's
and
coming.
there's nothing I can do about it.
Right.
It's coming.
It's coming, period. You just keep on your path and
I
keep
will.
being the wonderful person that you are. We just, like you say, it's a privilege of mine to know you, first of all. And then when other people back that up, that's even better. So I had to share that with you.
Well, thank you, Stephanie. Appreciate it. Thank you for having me. Thank you, Jordyn,
Sure.
for helping me out. And thank you, Stephanie, for bringing me on and being able to share to others.
And have fun in Maui whenever you get to go.
That's right.
Yeah, the deadlines, because I see all the winners and I keep waiting for my name, and then the last person to win was you, and I'm like, yes, someone
you.
I know.
We're definitely going. And there's no doubt about it. It's just one of those things people said, oh, well, I've heard of people who got it, but the airfare was too expensive. And it's like, I'm sorry, I'm going to use some miles and I'm going to get there. I'm just going to get there. And for however long
4
they'll take me,
days, yeah.
4 days, however
4 days, however long.
it's fine. Yeah. I'm going to be there at this luxury resort. Why not?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We'll talk to you again.
Yeah, please.
All right.
My honor, my pleasure, my privilege.
Okay. I appreciate it. Thanks. Bye.